Excellent, excellent, excellent. Now then, in our next session, our next 10-minute session, we're going to hear how embracing open data initiatives has the potential to transform the public transport sector. Our presenter is Triumph Koji. He's the digital projects lead for the Bus Open Data Service at the Department for Transport. Please make him feel very welcome.
Thank you very much, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming. Thanks for the applause. I feel very welcome already. I'm Triumph Koji. I am the digital projects lead at the Department for Transport's Open Buses program. I manage BODS, ABODS, everything in between. I've got an unwavering passion for public transport. I believe that open data holds power to revolutionize how people interact with public transport and unblock new possibilities for seamless travel, more informed planning, and the enhancement of public transport within the UK. I think my vision for public transport goes beyond the immediate utility of data, open data, but open data is key to enabling stakeholder collaboration, innovation, and the achievement of sustainable yet profitable mobility solutions for the future. Now, when we talk about open data, what do we mean? If you were familiar with open data, I apologize for telling you what you already know. But open data in this context refers to data that is freely used, freely made available, modified, and shared by anyone for any purpose. In the case of transport data, that refers to transportation data that is made available freely, shared freely to anyone for any purpose. Now, in terms of the benefits of open data and what we achieve by making transportation data open, I think one of the first things to be achieved by making transportation data open is innovation. So open data allows for the development of new services by enabling startups and tech companies to introduce new services and ideas for transportation services and other businesses as well as research to ultimately innovate transport. Open data leads to sort of better decision-making, so data-driven decisions. So governments, planners, bus operators analyze and utilize open data to better understand travel patterns and infrastructure usage, enabling them to make better and more informed decisions on sort of new projects and improvements to existing processes and infrastructure. That could lead to things like sustainability planning and also managing the environmental impacts, helping cities reduce emissions and optimizing routes, and ultimately enhancing sort of public transport systems. Now, one example of this is London. So I think over the last decade, London has consistently and repeatedly promoted open data. This has stimulated growth in the sort of transport ecosystem in the city. Thousands of organizations are consuming that open data and creating a wide, diverse range of mobility applications for businesses and the traveling public. This has got many advantages, which include sort of reducing the amount of money TfL themselves and their bus operators have to spend to make data available to the traveling public. TfL has attempted to quantify that in terms of economic benefits, and they did that in 2017, and they identified the benefits of making transport data open to London to be between about 90 to 130 million per annum. Open data also leads to greater transparency. I think, the availability of data builds trust between the public, government, and operators, make transport operations transparent, and that encourages public participation in different transportation processes. Open data also empowers citizens to better plan journeys, find better value fares, and it makes the whole system a lot more transparent and better for the traveling public. There are environmental benefits as well, and I think open data stands as an indispensable tool for our sector. Utilizing open data intelligently pushes the boundaries of public transportation, standardizes services, and streamlines operations. And how are we trying to support that as the government? If we take the bus sector specifically, the Department for Transport sort of supports the provision of open data through the Bus Open Data Service. The Bus Open Data Service was launched by the UK government in 2018. Started with legislation in 2017. The development of the platform to support operators provide vehicle fares, timetables data, and the articulation and the interrelationship within these different data sets, opens opportunities for the provision of further open data sets to the industry to gain the benefits that I have talked about before. The platform is open, it's free to use for anybody, and we have standardized of data types and created profiles for different data standards. So for timetables, fares, disruptions, we are providing sort of coach data to ensure we derive the benefits that we are looking to derive in terms of providing open bus data in the industry. Now, the availability of BODS has spawned different use cases. So BODS is used by different developers to power different journey planners. BODS has led to the creation of sort of new businesses that are offering sort of dynamic transport solutions, but has also increased opportunities for existing businesses as the opening up of the data has opened different streams and brought different ideas to ensure that we provide better services to the industry. Now, how does BODS benefit the industry? We've talked about standardization, so hitherto the existence of BODS, although they were standards, there had not been the refinement of these standards and the creation and articulation of profiles to ensure sort of standard across the provision of data within the industry or the exchange of data within the industry. So we provided sort of standards for fares, for timetables, for vehicle location. All of that has led to fostering of innovation, operational efficiency, improved passenger experiences as the provision of bus data is sort of has led to greater passenger power in terms of planning journeys and finding best value fares. But through the opening of data, and the utilization of that data by sort of transportation businesses to create solutions that support sort of the industry, we are seeing sort of improved decision making by through the utilization of BODS data. We know, for example, BODS data is being used by different local authorities, as regards of BCIP applications and planning and all of that. And these are some of the benefits that are accruing to the industry, bus operators and local authorities as a result of opening up sort of open data sets within BODS. Some other benefits, like I said, sort of improving sort of data availability for operators, third-party developers, local authorities, creating new services, essentially improving decision-making for the industry. However, BODS isn't without its challenges. And I suppose that is the message I would like to get out to the industry today. We understand as the government that, change is difficult, especially in an industry where that is dealing with a lot of constraints. driver shortages amidst other, other constraints. It's difficult to change, especially when there might be some feelings that, there might not have been enough consultation in terms of the introduction of this change. There are technical challenges, especially with smaller operators who are faced with sort of knowledge challenges and, the technicality of it all, and also the financial costs of accommodating the new technicalities. All of that has led to sort of data quality issues. Data accuracy remains to be an ongoing issue as a result of the first two issues that we've talked about. And ultimately, that has led to less than optimal, engagement on boards. We understand that enabling an open data ecosystem, in the case of some operators and local authorities, requires significant time and resources to curate and support the publication of accurate data. However, it is important that the industry begins to view open data as an enabler to a more efficient and vigorous bus transport system, as opposed to a problematic, new cost center that cannot or may not defend itself against budgetary scrutiny. I think we all benefit from having open data available as the industry, and the government is willing to play its role to support the continued provision of open data within the bus transport industry. In the interest of time, in terms of the future outlook for BODS, with your support and your engagement, we will continue to improve and streamline the data publication process, integrate additional data sets to BODS, so disruptions, cancellations, harness the potential of AI and machine learning for predictive analysis in terms of improving data quality, another aspect of improving the reliability of the data, and continue to provide support to the industry where possible to ensure that we all benefit from the advantages of having open data within the bus industry. I'm happy to take any questions.
We're out of time,
No worries.
actually. I'm sorry. We have
No
to
worries.
allow 10 minutes, and you did overrun a bit. But you
That's
got
right.
you got a lot into that, so thank you for that. The main thing is, it can be a benefit, even though there are some challenges along the way, and the government will try and help people.
No
Thank
worries.
you very much indeed, Triumph, for
You're
that.
welcome.
And if you want to get hold of Triumph, or you want to bend his ear round the back here, by all means do so. And thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you very much.